Hi, my name is Tyler Mowry, and welcome to the Writer's Mind Podcast, episode 28. All right, welcome Patreon members to another episode. Today, I want to talk about something that has been huge for my learning in a lot of different areas of life, and that is this very simple idea that the statement is, you don't know what you don't know. So this is something that I have come across again and again and again. One of the things that you'll find that I have also found in my learning process in a lot of different areas is that you're learning something, let's say screenwriting, and you have a general understanding of how things work, of how you should write, of core ideas, all of these things. And then over time, you begin to learn and grow and apply those things. But at some point, you start to feel like you're hitting the end of what you can learn, but at the same time, you're not where you want to be, right? So you feel like you're hitting the end of the information that you've gathered and how you can apply that to your story, but then suddenly you're still not writing at like a fantastic level. You're not writing at a level to be sold, at a professional level. And so a lot of writers get stuck in this gap here where it's like they feel like they've done everything they can, but their story isn't where they want it to be. It's almost like there's this ceiling and they don't know what the next step is because they feel like they've hit this ceiling. And this comes down to this concept of you don't know what you don't know. So essentially what we're doing when we're learning, right, is we have these spaces that are, the zones we're learning in. So when you get a ton of new information, right? Let's say you find somebody who's teaching a specific way. Many of you may have found my YouTube channel, and for some of you, it may have been kind of a light bulb moment that maybe I was giving you some ideas that you hadn't heard before, or I was explaining something in a way that, that really clicked for you or was very practical for you. I hope that is the case for a lot of you. And so then suddenly you have all of this learning and application to do, right? You have videos you can watch. You have practical things that you can do for your own story immediately. You immediately can see problems that are in your writing. A great example of this is Harmon Story Circle. A lot of people mention Harmon Story Circle when they talk about my channel because it really kind of broke structure for them. It gave them a method that made sense, and then suddenly they could see all of the structural problems that were in their story, and it gave them all this work to do. Now they could go back and fix their acts and fix their entire story and fix their scenes and this sort of thing. But over time, you start to get to the other side of that block, right? So over time, you start to get the concepts you've been learning. You start to bring them under your control. You start to apply them to your story. And then you start to feel like, maybe there seems to be something else that's missing. There seems to be something else that's missing. And then you do something else. You either go deeper into writing in some way, you find a new piece of information. For many people with me, they either join my course or something like that. And then again, it's like they broke through that ceiling and they're in a new place and there's all this new information to learn, and it starts the process again. And then at the end of that process, it starts again and it starts again and it starts again. And so when you become a professional writer, for example, your learning doesn't stop. Now you have an entirely new set of skills to be learning about. You need to be learning about, how to navigate an industry, how specific stories are told in a given industry, how to continue to write at this high level, how to apply that high level writing to other areas and other scripts that you might write. And so that doesn't really ever go away. And then let's say you get into directing, or let's say you get into producing. Suddenly you have a whole nother slew of lessons to be learned and things to do. And so one thing that I have learned is that using people and their resources, particularly like paying people to help you, these sorts of things, can be super valuable. And of course, I say this as somebody who sells a course and that sort of thing. This is actually not a pitch for any of the things that I sell, so keep that in mind. But what I am saying here is this is something I believe. This is something that I apply to my own life, where genuinely, if you want to excel and learn and continue in a given field, it makes a lot of sense to pay somebody to help you to do that. Or, even if it's not paid, to work closely with somebody that is willing to teach you, or to work for someone for free, these sorts of things. And by doing that, you are exposing yourself to the next level of information again and again and again, rather than taking all of the time to learn it on your own. And I think that this is the value in specific apprenticeships and mentorships and different things that you may do in different areas of life. So for example, here's a great example of this. If you start going to the gym, if you start working out, you can go in and you can learn routine. You can go on YouTube, you can learn a routine that you can follow. You can get on a diet plan or a health plan or whatever, to be eating the way you'd like to be eating, so that your time in the gym actually makes sense and you can see results. You can do that all on your own. Or you can hire a personal trainer and hire a nutritionist, I think that's what they're called, to give you game plans just on the spot, tailored to you, that you can use and potentially move faster. And so this is valuable simply because you are able to download the experience and the understanding and the knowledge base of someone else in a one-on-one basis, so that you can move faster in whatever it is you are trying to do. So I think this is super valuable, and I think this is something that I want to continue to apply myself. This is something that I have done myself, and continue to do. Currently right now, I'm continuing to seek out people that are ahead of me in the screenwriting field, especially professional writers who are willing to speak with me on ways to navigate the industry, things that I should do in the sense of setting up my screenplay and my writing talent for production companies and these sorts of things, so that I can move faster. Because my goal is not to spend the next 10 years trying to figure everything out on my own. It makes so much more sense to have someone else teach me what I need to do and have them show me what I need to do. And so it's about finding those people or paying people to help you and help you grow. And I super, super believe in that. I've spent thousands of dollars myself in different areas of life, in screenwriting, in business. I have not hired a personal trainer, but that might be a good idea, to help me grow faster than I would by myself. So this is something I truly believe in, and it's something I think that you should focus on as well, simply because you do not know what you don't know. So let's go back to the personal training example. You may think you need to eat a certain way, or you need to be doing certain types of exercises, and you voice that to your personal trainer. They might say, oh, that's actually not the correct way of looking at it. What you need to be focused on is doing this, this, and this, right? And they may tell you what the better thing to do is. You might be saying, oh, I need to eat a keto diet, or I need to eat a paleo diet, or something like that. And they may say, no, you need to focus on, whatever, the amount of calories you're eating, or do this sort of thing. And they can essentially stop you from making mistakes that would then cost you time and potentially money as well, and allow you to move faster. And I think that what's super important about this is that, the only asset that we have that is like truly non-recoverable is our time, right? Your money is recoverable, your you know, your these your objects around you are recoverable. Your car is recoverable. Like the things around us are recoverable, generally speaking. But what is not recoverable is our time. And so the more time you spend on things, there is no way to ever get that back. There is no way to if you are 30, you are 30. There's no way to go back to 20. If you are worth $20 million and you lose 18 million bucks and you have 2 million, you can get back to 20 million. There are ways to do that. But you can't ever get back your time. And so I think that it's all about deciding what you want, deciding the level that you are trying to get to, and then figuring out ways that you can speed up that process. Now, things do still take time. You're not able to fully negate time, but what you're able to do is negate large amounts of mistakes that you potentially could have made on your own otherwise. And so to be able to get direction and an understanding of what you don't know from somebody who has done something before you is hugely valuable, because it can save you so much time. And likely it can save you in other areas. It can save you money. It can potentially save you from making larger long-term decisions that don't work out for you. So all of these things can be recoverable. Or all of these things can't be recoverable, excuse me. So, I think this is super valuable. And I was actually thinking about this because I was just thinking about some people's hesitancy. I've seen hesitancy in regards to coaching, and I have seen, I don't know if you guys realize this, but I'm actually working with Scriptfella, Dominic Morgan, who is a WGA screenwriter, and I've been speaking with him, and he has been giving me some guidance on, his point of view on some of the steps he believes I should take as somebody with, 2 decades, who is 2 decades ahead of me in an industry that I'm at the very beginning of, trying to make these moves and to get a career started. He is able to help me navigate this, and it becomes hugely valuable. And so, no, not everyone is able to get higher level mentors, but I think what you can do, and I think what will surprise you, is reaching out to people that you want help from. And, especially if you ask questions to people and they give you answers, really genuinely and quickly applying the answers that they give you is going to be huge, because what's going to happen is, let's say you email a screenwriter and you say, hey, I'm sure, you get emails or whatever, and you ask for a specific question that isn't a time waster. You're not asking, oh, what script software do you use? You're asking, I'm trying to figure out how to pitch in a particular way. I like writing thrillers. This is kind of what I have. Do you think there's an adjustment to this pitch? Whatever. Then if they respond to you and give you information, and let's say you apply that information in a way that you can then bring it back to them. Let's say you use that. Let's say, the crazy thing would be that you get a script sold, or you use it in another way. This is just an example, of course. But let's say you pitch in the way they told you to, you get a script sold, you come back to them and you say, hey, I pitched exactly how you told me to. It worked. And now I have this question. They're going to be immensely, their desire to help you is going to be immensely higher, because you have proved to them that you are serious and actually are using the advice and the knowledge that they are giving you. There's a lot of people that they're not necessarily adverse to helping people. What happens is people constantly barrage them with stupid, asinine questions that makes them not want to send people answers or help them. And then when they do give answers, and they do give these long, drawn out, here's what you should do. You should do this, 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 and this. And then people go, oh, okay. And then go off and do the exact opposite. It makes them even less, it gives them less of a desire to help the next person that comes along. So, you can't fault them for that, of course, but it's about standing out from the crowd, right? So it's about really deciding what you want, of course, deciding where your goals are, how you're trying to get there. And then if you are going to have connections, have mentorships, have these different things, actually take and use the advice, be an actual listener, apply the things that you've learned. When I worked as a script reader, I had the huge fortune of developing a relationship with one of the producers that I was working under. And it got to a point where I asked if he would read a script of mine and give me some notes. And I felt like our relationship was at that point. And it was, because he graciously accepted. And then we had a meeting, I think 2 or 3 weeks later, and he sat down and he was like, he's like, I think your story is kind of here. Here's what you should do. I think, navigating the industry, I think this is what you should do. This is what you should do. This is what you should do. And, I was in there, I was with my laptop. I took notes on what he said. I was extremely attentive, and I was very grateful for the fact that this person was helping me completely for free, and completely just taking the time out to help somebody who was interested in moving forward. And so I think what I had done is I had proven while I was a script reader that I was competent, that I wasn't there to waste time, that I was legitimately there to help them, to give them, good script coverage as I was recommending or not recommending stories that went up to them. And so I think because of that, as well as creating a one-on-one relationship with this person, it allowed me the ability to develop that relationship to a point where I could ask for help. And then when I did ask for help, actually take that help, apply it, and be grateful for that help. So ultimately, and what was interesting, again, back to this idea that you don't know what you don't know. He was telling me, I was saying, I was thinking about doing this or this. And he was like, no, don't do that. You need to focus on this. You need to go in this direction. And that was hugely beneficial to me. And if you're interested in like what he actually said, mainly he was talking about things that I needed to improve in my script, things that on a marketability standpoint, how I should frame it for pitching and that sort of thing, as well as how I should handle working with some of the different talent script agencies and writing agencies that exist in Los Angeles. So super good stuff, and I was very grateful to him. And so it's about speaking to the people that can help you, because your problems are not unique, and that's something too, is we get into this idea that, I can figure it out because I'm the first person doing this ever and my problems are unique and no one can actually help me. But this just isn't true. Your problems are not unique. Other people have had the exact same problems that you have had. It's very likely that thousands to tens of thousands to millions of people have had the exact same problems that you have. And it feels like you're not unique. It feels like you want to be so unique and original and no one has ever been like you ever. But it's good because it means that people can help you. It means that other people have encountered the problems that you're dealing with right now. Imagine if somebody went to the gym and they refused help and they never watched any YouTube videos because they were like, I can figure this out. My body is the most unique body that has ever existed. That would just be completely dumb. But writers do that. They say, my screenplay is totally unique. Nobody has written like I have. Nobody has the idea that I have. I am fully and completely unique. And you're just like, what are you doing? You are handicapping yourself by staying in that mindset that you are so deeply original. You have to understand that generally you are the same as everyone else. And that is good. And then over time, when you build skill set and you build, you actually can write great stories, then your sense of style can come through. What makes you different or makes your perspective different than others can come through. But that only happens when you have done the work that everybody else has already done. So you can use them and allow them to teach you and apply what they teach to actually move a ton faster. That's what I try to do. That's what I encourage you to do. I try to do this in multiple areas of my life, and I hope that you can do the same. So that's what I have for you this week, and I'll see you guys next time.